We are in Denver at the Cattle Industry Conference, and one of the events that took place was a presentation of a long-range plan for the beef industry. Jennifer Houston, who is the chairman of the Federation of State Beef Councils, joins us right now. And Jennifer, let's talk about kind of beginning with the process. Why did we decide to do something like this?
Okay, well, this is obviously is not our first long-range plan. Several years ago, we decided in the beef business that we need to have a more concerted, single vision, and we need to really concentrate on what we need to do. So this is our newest iteration of long-range plan, and to make it to be what it needs to be for the entire beef business, it's joint project between the Cattlemen's Beef Board, the Federation, and the policy divisions of NCBA. So the officers all got together and we started thinking, who are the best and the brightest minds in our business from across the nation, representing all segments, all geographic areas. And so we spent a whole day process of trying to come up with people that would add something, that would be willing to stand up and have that visionary that not just looks a couple of years down the road, but that can look at things that are coming. You know, it's a 5-year plan, but still with that idea that down the road, what do we need to be thinking about? So we think we got a very good group. We think we represented all segments very well, and I think just from the discussions they had, the process worked very well.
Now, as we look at this one, based on previous ones, it really focuses in on the current issues that are facing the industry and really dealing with or talking with retailers, consumers, and really almost cattle producer to cattle producer.
Yeah, they really had a learning process, so they brought in experts for some of those that weren't as close to consumer marketing as maybe some checkoff people are. They talked about our millennial audience, and is that still the proper audience? I think they stayed with it was. And one thing I really liked at what they did, they really concentrated on what we all talk about affecting beef demand, but their whole focus throughout the whole thing was what will drive beef demand, because as producers, driving beef demand is what puts money in our pockets. So I really liked that. So they talked about, and they even prioritized as they went. Instead of just saying, oh, this all affect it. Well, we really think the most bang for our buck with our limited resources, certainly on the checkoff side, but in the whole industry to a certain extent, how do we focus on what makes the most difference?
As we know, the cattle market right now, especially cow-calf producers, are really riding a wave of profitability. So did you get any pushback of saying, things are going pretty good, why mess with something that's working good?
So far we really haven't. People see the need for looking in the future. They know, especially cow-calf producers, and I'm from the South, which is cow-calf area, and they know things are well, but they also know from experience that things can change on a dime. So we've got to have the processes in place that whatever happens, that we've got the focus to keep on going, to trudge our way through, to work our way through maybe a down area or a dip. And so we've just got nothing but, everybody's got ideas of what should be in there. But the fact that we need a long-range plan, I think everybody's in 100% agreement.
Okay, let's maybe break out your section as far as the Federation and that part of it as we look, maybe some highlights that the folks will be seeing down the road.
Okay, the Federation, as well as the Cattlemen's Beef Board, we pledged a few years ago that we're going to really align our focus with the long-range plan. So basically it becomes our Bible document. I hate to use that term, but we really look at it, and we did for the last 5 years, in everything we do. One thing that's exciting in this new long-range plan is how research is fundamental to all of our committees. We've got committees like Social Responsibility, which talks about, somebody calls it the Doing the Right Thing Committee. It's a funny name, and our cattlemen may not be used to that, but it really resonates with millennials because they're really into responsibility, and we all want to raise our beef and produce a product that's not only healthful, nutritious, but it's raised responsibly. So that was one of them. Obviously, safety, health, and wellness are just sort of cornerstones. Safety is a come-to-the-table thing. That's what our consumers expect. Innovation is always a part of it. New products are continuing, research into new products. I think the long-range plan people talked about revolutionizing the meat case, not just improving it, but revolutionizing, because let's face it, our beef case in many cases looks just like it did many, many years ago. And then, of course, exports are just something they're so exciting with all the things that are happening, the fact that we might get more access to, but that's where our growth's going to be. You know, all of the growth is outside these borders. And we want to keep our domestic consumers happy. We want to keep the product they love, but we also want to produce a product that we can sell overseas.
All right, Jennifer, we look forward to continuing to hear more and learn more about this new strategic plan as it gets rolled out. So thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me.
Jennifer Houston, who is the chair of the Federation of State Beef Councils, and she is from Sweetwater, Tennessee. From Denver, I'm Ken Rogers.